Hi, welcome to Hope in the Light of Suicide. I'm Tammy White. I'm your host and founder and CEO of the Bobby White Foundation. And thanks for joining us. I'm a little distracted right now because I have a cat walking in front of my screen. But that's okay. He may end up on here soon. But anyways, thanks for joining us. That's just part of the what happens around here, which is all good. I want to thank our executive producer, John Gaston with Area 52 Media Group, for being like our main sponsor for our show. Uh, huge support, both professionally and personally. And our new tech guy, Austin, behind the scenes. I really appreciate everything that he does too. It's all good. Sometimes it's hard, but we all persevere and get through the tough subjects, but that's what we're here for. Our other sponsor I really have to thank is DeLynn Gaston with the mortgage firm. Anything mortgages, I say this over and over again, and you need to get it in your brain. She is the best there is when it comes to mortgages, especially if you don't know what to do, how to start. She can walk you through everything, especially if you're and even if you're not, but a first time home buyer. You don't know what to do. Maybe you have bad credit or not so good credit. She can help you get all these ducks in a row so that when it's time for you and you find that house, your dream home, your forever home, she's the gal that can help you get into it, pretty much seamlessly. She's really great. Many years of experience. I won't tell how long because I might get in trouble, but that's okay. So they've been with us, from the very beginning. They've been with me from the very beginning of all this, and their love and support is like so appreciative. So, like we've been saying the last couple of weeks, we're in summertime, but summertime means for us getting ready for Art for Hope. This is our pretty much only our biggest fundraiser. This is our 7th annual Art for Hope. Of course, thanks to the Hilton Garden Inn, with Art for Hope, I guess they've hosted us all 7 years. Very, very supportive hotel. They're really great. They love having us here, having us there. And again, it's September 12th, which it's a Thursday evening. It falls during National Suicide Prevention Week, which is September 10th. But like I said, it's an uplifting event. I know that we talk about the tough subject here, but really, like I try to make it a little bit more uplifting for the show. This is what Art for Hope is. It's not a sad event. We have keynote speakers. I have a couple of speakers coming in from Tampa this year, which is not that far away. It's just down the road. So it's gonna be great. We have music, gift basket raffles. Our sponsors, of course, our big Hope sponsor is our guys, Area 52 Media Group. One of our Dolly sponsors is the Rotary Club of the Nature Coast. Da Vinci sponsor, which is Precision Survey and Mapping. They've sponsored every year also. They happen to be the company that Bobby worked for when he died. Actually, he worked for them for years, off and on a couple times, but it was over 20 years probably collective. And our dessert sponsor again, yay, is Leanne's Old Fashioned Cookies. She is so great. I ran into her, and I knew she would be a sponsor, but it was funny. I ran into her at a networking thing last week down in Tampa, and I was like, "Are you going to be, you want to be the cookie sponsor again this year?" She says, "Of course." And I told her, I says, "Well, I was going to tell everybody before I asked you, but I thought maybe I better ask you first." But anyways, so our cookie sponsor again is, of course, Leanne's Cookies, Old Fashioned Cookies. She's I'll put the link to our website in the comments after the show, because she ships her cookies everywhere, all over the United States. They're all like homemade. She has a commercial kitchen, and all the cookies are individually wrapped. Her packaging is immaculate, and if you have a company or organization, she can work with you to use your company colors, logos, or whatever in the packaging. I mean, it's just awesome. It's really great, and her cookies are just super super awesome. And then Rick Redmond is going to be back as our event photographer. He's also on our committee this year for Art for Hope. So we always really appreciate all the effort that Rick puts in to photographing our event. You can actually, I can't remember which way we're going to do this, but let me see if I can kind of stay on track here. So at the event too, we have artwork. That's what we mentioned, Art for Hope. So this is one of the pieces that is going to be available is this piece here. It's a Dennis Mukai serigraph called Addicted to Love. And this piece is conservation framed, like the best framing that you can have. But also, if you notice down in, like if you're looking at the piece, the lower left-hand corner, that little rose area, I hand carved that. It's not done by nowadays computerized mat cutter machines. That was actually done by hand by me. So this is a really cool piece, and I've always really liked it. So this is one of the pieces of artwork that'll be available at Art for Hope, unless it sells prior to, which you can always contact us through the foundation, or even our Art for Hope Facebook page we have. You can contact us through that. There's images on, I'll get some more of the images on the Art for Hope Facebook page. There's some other stuff that happens to be a picture of our support group. So yeah, I need to update some of that, but hey, it's all good. So check back. Probably the best thing for updates is either here or the Art for Hope Facebook page, as we inventory and add images, so that there's like a little bit of a preview, because it is a lot of art, and I'm hoping, and it's art at really good prices too, and not really super expensive pieces. We do have a few that are super expensive, but then we have, some that are in the $5, $10, $15, $25 range, $100 range, all across it is, really good quality artwork. Some of it's framed, most of it's not. So if you're local and you buy it, who do you get to take it to frame? Hopefully me. But anyways, all the proceeds from, the sale of all the art and everything, our gift basket raffle. We have gift baskets starting to come in, some really cool stuff. We always have really awesome gift baskets. I think JR World Travel does a lottery board for us. That's a separate raffle from the gift baskets. Let's see, what else do we have? Light hors d'oeuvres, cash bar. I'm gonna be setting up. I don't. Maybe by the time this airs or right after, I'll set up. I'll have to do it after. Maybe we talked about doing an Eventbrite sign up kind of like thing. The event is free. There's no cost to attend the event. It is free. But just so that we have an idea of about how many people might be coming, because we've kind of expanded our reach a bit down to Pinellas County and Hillsborough County and up to Hernando County. So we're like not just Pasco or like Tampa, all of Tampa Bay. And that's where some of our services are going to also. So, and with that also, we just had, and we didn't talk about Art for Hope in the article. So hopefully I can get her to do another article coming up soon. I mentioned last week I had an interview with the Suncoast News. So the article is out now about our support groups. And she did a really great job. So our support groups, Hernando County is the second Wednesday of the month at Nami Hernando's office. And we did find a new location for the Newport Richey support group, which is the third Thursday, and it is going to be at the Oasis Coffee Spot in Newport Richey, the corner of Embassy and Little Road. Pretty much anybody in this area knows where that's at. So we're going to be holding it in. They have a bookstore that's part of the coffee shop, and so the support group's going to be there. So it'll be a nice, private, quiet area. I think it'll be a good spot. So plus, it's really close to me. So we've held a lot of different organizations have meetings there and stuff, and it's a nice place to meet up, and they're gracious enough to give us the space, and we really appreciate that. So I'm excited to hopefully, it may be our permanent spot. If it is, I think it would be great. So we're excited about that. Plus the fact that this article coming out, and this morning was really busy. Yesterday, we're getting our purple folders were updated, and with the the support groups, trying to update everybody and what's going on with that. I delivered updated purple folders to the Newport Richey Police Department, and so they have the updates for the support groups. By the time this airs, Port Richey Police Department will have their updated purple folders and the information for the support groups. Just, it's really great to have partners with our local law enforcement. They're really great. They're supportive. And then Monday, I have an appointment with the chief and the captain or chief, two of the guys over for the Dade City Police Department to give them updated folders and talk to them about our prospects for starting a support group over on the east side of the county. Pasco County is ginormous, and we often, our county gets separated between East Pasco and West Pasco. And so some things happen over there that don't happen over here, and some things happen over here that don't happen over there. So we're sometimes you kind of have to try and work with both sides to help make things work, together to it. Be inclusive with the other side of the county, even though we're on the west side most of the time, but the east side needs us just as bad. And also it's pretty much, I think the east side is really more easy access from Hillsborough County, Tampa, Lutz, that area. So just things that we're always looking to move forward and bring more services to the community, which is really awesome too, because another super awesome thing is, and I knew about this, I don't know, a couple of years ago, but and I probably shouldn't say it the way I'm going to say it, but it's just the way I'm going to say it is, I'm not a huge Walmart fan. And that is because I'm a small business person. And, but really Walmart does some awesome things. They do support community organizations. They are very philanthropic. They have a program. I probably won't get it totally right. It's called Good Spark or something like that. But it's a grant program that works with you work with each separate Walmart store, and there's windows of opportunity when the grants are open. This quarter it just closed, so you can apply for a grant for your nonprofit, 501c3. For there's different community subjects, I guess that's not really the right term, that they support, and you can apply for a grant, and it's anywhere from $250 to $5,000. So Nami Hernando reminded me about that, and I tried to do it a couple of years ago, and it was just like too confusing. Some things just weren't really registering. But I sat down this weekend and I got the foundation registered, and applied for the maximum you could do is 25 stores. So 25 stores in our area that we service, that the Bobby White Foundation services, the closest to our area. So we did, the Pasco stores, Hernando County for and these were all for the support groups. So Hernando County stores, which also included their distribution centers, a few stores in Pinellas County, North Pinellas, like Tarpon Springs, Dunedin, that are closer to Pasco County line, and some North Tampa ones, because eventually, I think probably sooner rather than later, we'll have a group in the Tampa area, since I go down there a lot now, and we're promoting, and we're part of Zero Suicide Partners Hillsboro. So anyways, long story short, or longer, I got notification, and it wasn't even 24 hours. Our Hudson store granted the foundation $500, and I was about in tears. I mean, it wasn't even 24 hours. One of the stores denied us like immediately, but that's okay. We still have 23 more stores to go. So the more that they do, the more it's going to help us, so that we can get the support groups in the east side going, North Tampa, and support our groups that we have started. So really, things are starting to roll, and I thought I turned this off, but I guess I didn't. Happened to me in the meeting today too. Terrible with these phones. So anyways, so that's really some awesome news that's happening, and as it's part of what we're trying to do, with the community. I titled this show, "We Can Show Them Why They Should Care," and towards the end of the show, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, so don't show it, Austin, yet. There's this guy that I listen to, Eddie Panero, and I came across a quote of his, and it gets frustrating sometimes doing what I'm doing, because it's a tough subject, and not everybody wants to hear about it. Not everybody wants to listen, unless it's affected them. And I still get it. I mean, I was at a meeting today, and was talking about Art for Hope and what we were doing, and I could still feel the energy of several people in the room. It's kind of like, oh boy, here we go again, and that's okay. That's okay. We just need to keep going and persevere, and we need to show people why they should care about this subject. We don't want this to come to their front door. If it's going to happen, we're not going to stop it. In some cases, we can, and that's why we're involved with the Zero Partners Coalition with all the Tampa Bay chapters. In our case, I don't know. In some cases, yeah. But those of us, those of you that are left behind after a suicide, you are the ones that are left to try and figure this out and to navigate your, and we can do it. Whether you choose to help other people through your process, that's your journey. Whether you choose not to, that's your journey, and neither one is good or bad or better. It's just not. It's what you have to do to take care of yourself, to figure out how to live the best life that you can live after something so horrific that it'll probably never be explained to you. You're never going to know why. But we can still live the best life that we can live. It's hard. I mean, I go through it all the time. Sometimes, whether I'm here or out speaking to a group, or just a networking thing, and even just introducing myself, so I can be up there and like, hey, I'm doing good, everything's fine, we're doing this, we're doing that, and then turn right around and I'm not doing good. It's getting better, but it's not going away. This weekend, I finally, I've talked about this before. Projects around the house. I live in the house that Bobby and I lived in together for 25 years. I'm going on 32 years here now. And last year, and I showed pictures of the bathroom ceiling when it fell in just months after he died, and it took me 5, 7, 6 years to get the ceiling fixed. So last year we got it fixed, raised, all real nice. All I had to do is prime it and paint it. It took me a year to do that. I did it this weekend. I finished the ceiling. And but if that's what it takes, it's little baby steps forward. It's not always going to go in the timeline that we think we should be in, or somebody else thinks we should be in. And don't go by somebody else's timeline. You have to go by your own. So it's hard, but you know what? Right now, and we're all going to be in different spaces on this journey. Some of you out there may be in the very beginning, and believe me, I know you don't see the light, and you may be part way, a couple of years into it, and it could get worse. I mean, it did for me. My third year was awful. And then you go down a little bit more and it gets better. And then again, it goes backwards. I mean, that's just the way it is. There's no timeline. We just have to learn how to integrate everything as we can. So that's all we, that's all I try and do. And hopefully be of some sort of, because I could say inspiration to others, but it's like, I don't know, you kind of hardly be an inspiration to yourself. So, but hopefully, I can be, and the women that are helping facilitate our support groups, it actually means a lot to us that people entrust us, to come and be able to talk openly about what they're feeling and what they're going through. Is we know it, and we've been there, and we don't take it lightly at all. But we just want to be there for support. That's what this show is all about. That's what the foundation is all about. Because we, not only me, my volunteers that work with us, we all had the same thing. We didn't have the support, but we want to make sure that, if at all possible, we can do that for other people, if they're willing. And that's, that's a hard part too. It really is. So anyways, I guess that was my little tangent for today. But we, I've mentioned, and we're not going to be able to get into it today, but the national strategy for suicide prevention. I'm trying to find something here. Oh, where is it? I lost it. Anyways, we're on the third part of that, so we'll bring that up next week. Direction 3. You can put that back up, Austin. We always say at the end of the show, make sure you put these phone numbers in your phone whenever I go out to speak anywhere. I always have people take out their phones and put these phone numbers in. You never know when you're going to need them. And it's just always great to have anything available. I'm going to be bringing to you too some training opportunities that is open to the public through the Florida Leads Grant. I do trainings quite often, and last week I did one, and it's grant funded through the state of Florida. QPR training, persuade, refer for suicide prevention. I got my little certificate. But I've talked to them, and they'll have trainings that are going to be available to the general public. And because I think some of these are really important for all of us to know, just like when we did the mental health first aid class. So we're going to be bringing that information, putting it on the website, putting it on the Facebook page. So anybody that's interested can take these classes so that we can all help others in our community. So my quote for today is, you can force the world to care. You can't force the world to care. You have to show them why they should. So remember, there's always hope.